Welcome back to Scout Report, where today we're looking at how Milan have transformed into one of the most exciting teams in Europe and have staked their claim for an unlikely Serie A title. For 7 consecutive seasons between 2013 and 2020, the Rossoneri failed to qualify for the Champions League and only finished as high as 5th on one occasion, dropping as low as 10th in 2014-15 and failing to score as many as 60 goals until last season. But following an impressive end to the 2019-20 campaign under the guidance of Stefano Pioli, the sleeping giants of Italy have finally awoken and are very much the pacesetters of Serie A this season, topping the table after 10 games with 0 defeats so far. There are a number of reasons why the prestigious club is doing so well right now, but we've whittled it down to 3 key factors. Let's take a look at them. Recruitment. Milan's rise up the Serie A table may have seemingly happened quite suddenly in the last 12 months, but it's been a few years in the making, and their improved recruitment has been central to the progress they've made. On selling the club in April 2017, longtime owner Silvio Berlusconi cited an inability to keep up with the newly moneyed clubs which were dominating the European transfer market, with Neymar's eye-watering €222 million move to PSG coming just 3 months later. However, in the 5 seasons up to Berlusconi's departure from the San Siro, Milan had racked up the 3rd highest net spend in Italy, despite ranking 5th for actual fees paid, suggesting that while they had become more frugal in the market, they weren't backing this up with smart sales. Following the departure of Thiago Silva in 2012, the biggest single fee received by the club during this period was €20 million for Mario Balotelli in 2014, the same price they had paid for him a year earlier. Promising youngsters like Brian Cristante and Andrea Petagna were sold on the cheap, while Milan overspent on aging stars like Carlos Bacca and Luis Adriano, both of whom would last just 2 seasons at the San Siro. The club recorded a €37.8 million loss on their investment when they sold the pair. However, in the final years of Berlusconi's reign, there was also a sense the club was beginning to change its strategy, signing younger players like Suso and Alessio Romagnoli and blooding academy products like Gianluigi Donnarumma and Davide Calabria. The Rossoneri went from having one of the oldest squads in Italy in 2014-15 with an average age of 27.9 to the youngest 2 seasons later in 2016-17 with an average age of 25.3. Fast forward to 2020-21 and that's come all the way down to 24.1, ranking among the youngest in all of Europe despite boasting a 39-year-old Ibrahimovic. Donnarumma, Calabria and Romagnoli all remain regular starters, while Suso was sold for a near €20 million profit to Sevilla in 2020. That's not to say they haven't had some clangers since Berlusconi left. The summer of 2017 saw the club record a €160 million net spend, with €123.7 million of that being spent on Andre Silva, Andrea Conti, a 30-year-old Leonardo Bonucci and a 31-year-old Lucas Biglia, a spree which breached financial fair play regulations. Aside from Conti, who has been injured for most of his Rossoneri career, all have been moved on at a loss, with Bonucci returning to Juventus after a year and Biglia being let go for free in the summer of 2020. After spending €38 million to bring Andre Silva to the San Siro, the Portuguese striker made just 8 Serie A starts and was sold to Eintracht Frankfurt 3 years later for just €3 million. This trend continued the following season with the big money acquisitions of Lucas Paquetá and Christoph Piontek, but in the summer of 2019 they bagged a number of hits, with chairman Ivan Gazidis having laid down a new policy of signing young quality players within a sustainable budget, promoting Paolo Maldini to technical director as part of this shift. Theo Hernandez and Ismael Bennacer were both instant successes, and Rafael Leao has also impressed. The loan signings of Ante Rebic, Alexis Selemakers and Simon Kjær, meanwhile, were all made permanent in the summer of 2020 for a combined €12 million. A similar course of action is expected to be taken with Sandro Tonali, Brahim Diaz and Diogo Dalot. Even if one or more of them doesn't become a star at the San Siro, their age profile means it's likely they can be sold on for a profit. The Football Observatory recently revealed that Milan lead the way in Italy for recruiting young players, with the average age of new arrivals being 24.3. Across Europe's top 5 leagues, they rank similarly to Borussia Dortmund, a club famous for its youth-orientated recruitment policy. Conversely, rivals Inter rank in the bottom 5 clubs in this regard. The coronavirus crisis saw transfer spending across world football drop by 30% in 2020, and Serie A was hit hard. Parma racked up by far the biggest net spend with €76.6 million, with Lazio ranking second on €21.5 million, while wages across the league dropped by $85 million, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Milan's shift to a more sustainable, future-proofing transfer policy has served them well through an immensely difficult period for Italian football. But while the Rossoneri squad now boasts Champions League quality in every area, they wouldn't be challenging for Serie A without an excellent coach in charge. The Pioli effect. Stefano Pioli became Milan's third manager in 5 months when appointed in October 2019, and so it was easy to be sceptical of whether he'd last beyond the end of the season, especially after the club became linked with Red Bull mastermind Ralf Rangnick. However, while there are a number of reasons why the Rossoneri didn't end up hiring the German manager, the side's excellent form under Pioli was a key factor. Following a shaky first month in which he lost 3 of his opening 5 matches, which in fairness were to Roma, Lazio and Juventus, the former Inter boss helped turn the side into a much stronger unit, losing just 3 more games in the remaining 26, with no side recording fewer defeats in that time, and only Lazio and Atalanta registering more than their 53 points. Pioli's decision to switch to 4-4-2 and then a 4-2-3-1 following the club's January business also proved a masterstroke. The side went from scoring less than a goal a game and conceding 1.4 a game in a 4-3-3 to averaging 2.4 goals a match and conceding 1.1 following the tactical shift, with almost every first-team member seeing their game improve. While Franck Kessié had been a pretty consistent contributor to the side ever since he first signed in 2017, his repositioning from the right of a midfield 3 into a double pivot alongside Ismael Bennacer forced him to become much more defence-minded, no longer able to run and press freely in the opposition half. This initially saw his goal threat drop off massively, but as expected he became a more effective ball winner, with his tackles and interceptions per 90 rising from 2.1 to 2.8. With Bennacer winning possession 4.4 times per 90, and the pair making an impressive 11.5 successful pressures between them each match, this newfound solidity in midfield provided the cover needed for attack-minded Theo Hernandez to roam. The former Real Madrid man contributed 6 goals and 3 assists across the campaign, while his .34 expected goal and assist per 90 bettered Liverpool's Andy Robertson. Right-back Davide Calabria has also become more well-rounded. While he's always possessed the ability to progress the ball from deep, his defensive output has shot up this season. No defender in Europe's top 5 leagues can match his 4.6 tackles per game, while his successful pressures per match have risen from 4.3 to 6.3, a figure only beaten in the squad by Alexis Saelemaekers, with whom he has formed an excellent understanding this season. Another player transformed by Pioli is Hakan Calhanoglu. While he lacked the pace or dribbling ability to truly excel on the left wing, the Turkish playmaker has been given a more free role in the 10 position, able to collect the ball from the midfield and feed the attackers in front of him with his excellent passing, or drift to the left when Ibrahimovic wants to drop deep and link up play. He became key to the side's effectiveness on the counter at the back end of the 1920 campaign, scoring 6 and assisting 8 in 12 appearances following the restart, contributing to a goal every 58 minutes. For context, Thomas Müller has averaged a goal involvement every 77 minutes across the last 18 months. He may just have 1 assist to his name so far this term, but his in-game output has only increased, with his key passes per 90 rising from 2.3 to 3.9. In October 2020, Chairman Gazidis reiterated his vision for Milan as a side which plays vertical, attacking football using young players. Thanks to Pioli, this is exactly what the Rossoneri look like, and at the time of writing they haven't lost in the league since March. Once thought of as a stopgap, the Italian coach has well and truly proved his doubters wrong. Zlatan. But every great team needs a leader on the field, and since his return to the San Siro in January 2020, Zlatan Ibrahimovic has become that figurehead. The most experienced top-level striker still playing the game, Ibra helped galvanise Milan's attack just as Pioli's system change added an extra body to the forward line. His excellent conditioning at 39 means he's been able to keep up with the young bodies around him, while his attacking intelligence has helped get the best out of his teammates. However, while only Calhanoglu beat his 15 combined goal and assists across the 2019-20 campaign, despite Zlatan playing half the minutes, the Swedish star has managed to outdo himself once again in 2020-21. His 5.8 shots per game is not only the best average of his career, but also ranks him first among players in Europe's top 5 leagues this season. What's more, he's finding the best spaces with outstanding efficiency, with a staggering 4.6 of those shots coming from inside the box. For context, in his 50-goal season for PSG back in 15-16, Zlatan registered 3.3 shots in the box a match. It's perhaps no surprise then that he's running at 1.27 expected goals per 90, a better rate than Robert Lewandowski and Erling Haaland, and is scoring a goal every 53 minutes in Serie A. Despite ranking 10th in the squad for minutes played, the Swede has contributed to 48% of Milan's goals so far this term. He's managed to maintain a good level of creativity too, notching up 1.5 key passes per game, a higher average than Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao. The Rossoneri have been more than capable of winning games when he's been absent, and in that sense they have an even bigger advantage, with Pioli able to effectively enact different game plans depending on if Ibrahimovic is fit. But in order to make a real stab at the title, he'll need his talisman available for the majority of the campaign. As this goes out, Milan are running at 2.5 expected goals per game. That's a huge jump on the 1.8 they averaged after Pioli took over in 2019-20, which was already a significant improvement on the 1.4 they averaged in 2018-19 under Gattuso. Aided by 2 years of excellent recruitment under Gazidis, Pioli has gradually unlocked the potential of one of Europe's youngest teams, while the acquisition of Ibrahimovic has proved an incredibly worthwhile gamble. If they can keep this up, a long-awaited fairy tale could be written at the San Siro this season. And even if they don't manage it this time around, it's only a matter of time until Milan are champions of Italy once again. So that was our take on how Milan transformed themselves back into title contenders, but what do you think? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell to never miss a video. We'll see you next time.